Okay, so in this video we're going to do numbers 11 through 15. And so in number 11, we are going to figure out which of these mathematical models can represent the employee's total health care costs for the year. And then the deductible is what they have to pay after, towards their medical costs for that year. So let's just say that their medical costs for that year are $5,000. They're going to pay the first $500 of that. That's what the deductible is. So if their cost is $5,000, that leaves them $4,500, and of that $4,500, they're only going to be paying 20% of that. So that's what the co-payment is about. So let's just jot that down. So I said, let's imagine that they pay $5,000 in medical costs, is what they're billed by their doctor. And the first $500 they have to pay out of their pockets. That leaves $4,500. And of that $4,500 that's left, they're only going to pay 20%. So that means that you would multiply that by 0.20 to figure out what they're going to pay total. So let me just calculate that real quick. So 4,500 times 0.2 is $900. So that's going to be the remaining cost. So what did they pay really? They paid $36.26 plus the first $500, that was their deductible, plus now they're paying, I'll write it out, 0.2 times our imaginary number of 5,000, or 4,500 rather. And hopefully that will help you see that the correct equation is going to be answer choice C. Because you take your $36.26, your $500 deductible, and then 20% of whatever your costs were minus that first $500. Okay, now number 12. So for this problem, we're going to be looking for how many liters of blue paint are used. And so I know also that the total amount of paint is going to be spread evenly among two containers, one that is that are each 1.9 liters. So that's going to be a total of 3.8 liters of paint, because there's two of them. So the mixture consists of P liters of blue paint plus 0.8 P liters of yellow paint and P minus 0.4 liters of orange paint, and that total is going to be 3.8 liters. Now, combining like terms, I'm going to get 1 P plus another P plus the 0.8 P. That's 2.8 P minus 0.4 equal to 3.8. And again, we're down to a two-step equation, so you're just going to add 0.4 to both sides, so you get 2.8 P equal to 4.2 when I add 0.4 to both sides, and divide both sides by 2.8, and you should get P equal to 1.5. Now P stands for the number of liters of blue paint, so that's going to be 1.5. Number 13, we're going to be looking for the graph of the equation. There's two ways to do this. You can either go ahead and get that into y equals mx plus b form and then look at the slope. They all have negative slope, so that's maybe not going to be the easiest way. I think for this problem, the easiest way you can do it is to find the intercepts. So remember, to find the intercepts, let each variable equal to 0 and then solve for the remaining variable. So I'll first let y equal 0. So I'll get 5x plus 2.5 times 0 equals 20. And so that's 5x equals 20, so x is equal to 4. That's my x-intercept. So that means to me that I can automatically eliminate choice C because that has an x-intercept of 8. I can also eliminate choice D because that has an x-intercept of 10, so it's not going to be either one of these two. Now for me to figure out what the y-intercept is, I'm going to let x equal 0 and solve for y. So I'll do that right here. So 5 times 0 plus 2.5y equals 20. And so 2.5y equals 20. And just divide both sides by 2.5. And so y is equal to 8. And so looking at my answer choices again, the y-intercept of 8 appears right here. And so my answer choice is A. Okay, let's take a look at number 14, and we have a linear inequality, and so this is where you're going to want to think about the shading and all of that stuff. So if I were to solve this for y, I'm not going to have to divide by any negative numbers, so I know that my inequality is going to remain less than or equal to, so I can use that fact to eliminate choices B and D because they both are shaded above, which would have been greater than or equal to. And I know that that's not going to be the case because I'm not going to be dividing by a negative. So now my next thing would be to look at the intercepts again, just like we did on the last problem, and see if I can figure out or eliminate. So let's just say that we let y equal 0. So that would give 5x plus 0 less than or equal to 50. So x is less than or equal to 10. And that corresponds to this x-intercept. So it turns out that choice C is the correct answer. So this is a good example of just using some process of elimination to solve the problem. And for our final question in this video, number 15, we need to figure out what the slope is. To find the slope, you want to put this equation into y equals mx plus b form. So I would start by subtracting 57x from both sides. And 0 minus 57x on the right side is going to be negative 57. And then I'm going to divide, or x rather, and then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 95, which makes a positive. So now I have 57 over 95x. So 57 over 95 is my slope. However, it's not listed as one of the choices, so I have to reduce that fraction. I can also do some elimination here as well. I know that 57 is the numerator. It's smaller than the denominator of 95, so my answer has to have the same type of thing going on. The numerator has to be smaller than the denominator. So that can help me to eliminate choice A, and it can help me to eliminate choice B. So now it's either going to be 2/3 or 3/5. Let's just figure out what it'll be. So let's see. Let's do 95 divided by 3 and see what we get. What you can do here to reduce this fraction is to plug 57 divided by 95 in your calculator, and you get a value of 0.6. And I know that 2/3 is equal to 0.66, and 3/5, when I do that, 3 divided by 5 in my calculator is actually equal to 0.6. So if you're having trouble reducing the fraction, you can always use division to figure out which one of your answer choices matches.